practiced against Probius or even with Probius. It's going to be our first time watching Miracle playing on Probius. Let's see if they steal it away from DuckDuck.
And let's not forget that Sky Temple is a map that can end very early. It was a very dominant Game 1 from Tempest, so if we're just looking to swing this momentum into a 2-0 lead and crush in Game 3, part of the idea. We've seen a lot of top-tier teams use this map as their second pick, win-win in Game 1, and it's worked well, and actually leads to a lot of 3-0s. So, Miracle will have first ban. They're going to immediately remove the Falstad.
That lockdown Falstad. Soaking up EXP and coming out from the side for the Gust.
That one Gust when he flew up top, oh man.
That was right after the Sanctification too, so they had no defense whatsoever. And Genji, just rip Genji.
Well, this is, I feel like, kind of a bait. Because now Tempest just, I think Tempest is just very happy to take the Malfurion. They're like, look, I hit every route, we got the route follow-ups, take the global. I think this is going to be Malfurion with this. They're actually going to take Nazeebo here.
This is a map where lots of specialists can come out. Nazeebo,
wow.
Probius.
Well, the Nazeebo here...
Even Zagara came out once too.
The Nazeebo here is very strong in terms of that pushing power, but this map usually doesn't even reach level 20 most of the time, so he's not going to get the Vile Infection talent power up. He will have early on, you know, Widowmakers, and look, Nazeebo's a strong hero throughout the mid and early game, but it's late game where he really shines, so I'd have an unusual pick to see on this map, especially paired with the Tyrael.
And also, Falstad is gone, so they're going to be likely to be missing that global. And Tempest, when they picked Nazeebo, and oftentimes with Tyrael, they also went for Rag for the safety to delay the structures taking down from the opponent, because that Molten Core can save the fort so they can go for a longer game when this map actually is a little bit shorter compared to all other battlegrounds. So Rag seems to be a great pair for Tempest.
All right, Miracle, will they look for the denial pick here? There's the Malfurion, which we knew was going to be that case, and it's just going to be Tychus to help with the wave clear. Dahak is already going to be set as the solo laner. Tychus is going to help deal with that Nazeebo push in bot. Obviously a solid DPS. He does usually get into spider range because of his reduced auto attack range in the patch that happened around Eastern Clash. But still think he's a solid pickup here. Like, this is a safer draft from Miracle than the one we saw on the previous map.
That's right, they have global DPS and Malfurion, some more CCs. Already looks so much better. Now Tempest, they can choose, they gotta choose, do they want to ban out an ETC with the pair up with Taka here? And they do want to limit from Miracle having too much CCs, they already have a couple available.
Yeah. Interesting, because they could have picked up the ETCs themselves, but I don't think that they want that with the Tyrael. Even though that's been a common pairing, they clearly don't want it because they banned it out. And in terms of a secondary DPS, especially with the Nazeebo, I kind of like Sergeant Hammer here. Sergeant Hammer, Li Ming, both available. Miracle, I don't think is going to target the support here. Just not really reasonable against Hyde. Can play a very good Rhaegar.
Vala is also open. We saw Vala without protection. Just solidly even Q Vala on this map too. They're really just thinking in their head what's going to happen. Maybe Zeratul hovering, targeting Modern Life. Actually, Tyrael seems to be the one on Modern Life right now.
Yeah, I think the Zeratul ban would be a mistake. I actually really like the Hammer ban. Like I was saying, I think the Hammer plus Nazeebo in the format, especially in the early game, is super powerful. You've got a strong solo laner in Tyrael who can help deal with the Dahaka top push. So, this is going to be frustrating for Tempest. I'm trying to think of other heroes that could pair with an Nazeebo here in the bot lane to heavy push. I don't think Zul is reasonable in this meta. We saw DuckDuck doing a little bit of experimentation last week. But
and I also think this, DuckDuck will be on Nazeebo anyhow.
Yes,
so
exactly.
I think it's already taken.
Yeah, I just don't think that... I don't think we're going to see anything else in terms of heavy pushing like they wanted to do with the Hammer.
With Tychus and Hammer gone, I think Vala also, we saw hover on that Miracle ban, is an okay option. Even, I don't know why, but Zagara, no Zagara, never mind.
I mean, I'd say like the potential pick of a Gul'dan is something they're considering, but I don't think they'll commit to. Muradin and Rhaegar, actually, over the Karazim.
Oh, wait. I think they just want to wait and see the response from the
Are
entire comp of Miracle. Or I think they're trying to have Cassia come in.
Are you thinking what I'm thinking, though? Well, you're thinking about Cassia. I'm thinking about Sonya in this composition.
A very good
You have so many ways to delay, and you have the kind of solo range DPS Nazebo, and the fights go longer. You can contest for so long because that comp actually has so much sustain. You just contest for so long that you kind of force the map to go late game.
That's right.
You have so much frontline for the Nazebo to actually do the damage.
Also very strong solo laner against the Haka too. We saw that top lane on Dragonshire before.
Yeah, then it makes your 4-man stronger because you have the shields for the minions. I like the Sonya 5th pick here. I don't think they're going to do it necessarily, but we saw that Rhaegar prioritized over the Kharazim for a reason. Oh man, they're just going to try the Stitches again. They have the root this time. They have the drag follow-up. This is a much better draft for the Stitches to work. And it will definitely limit the power of Sonya if that was what Tempest was thinking. Another strong solo laner is Tyrael himself, right? So they don't necessarily need that Sonya pick. It was just for the team fights I was considering, as Tyrael is kind of one of the best solo laners in the game. But he would move down to the 4-man, make that stronger.
Sonya, what exactly are they thinking? This is a patch before the Alarok changes, but even before, Alarok is still a very strong solo laner and a hero, melee hero to contest.
Obviously there's a few range damages left here, Cassia being one of them, with a strong pairing with Tyrael. Blinds can be very strong against Tychus, but not against the Li Ming. And a lot of the other DPS is removed. Falstad, Hammer, Vala is an option. It has the protection of Rhaegar and Tyrael. They're definitely considering that. It's going to have good wave clear in the lane. See what it's going to be. It's going to be the Vala.
I think they changed it in a way because after seeing the Stitches, because Vala can roll away from the hooks all the time, so less likely to get hooked.
Can be pre-cleansed as well by Hyde. I think we're going to see a lot of that post-7. Tempest has a draft that's really solid for the map. Miracle has a draft that's reliant on those hooks yet again. But this time, they have the follow-up. This is a much better Stitches draft as we go into game number 2. If this game snowballs into Tempest's favor, they will have such a massive lead in terms of momentum. As we go into the second game, let's jump into it right now. This is the playoffs for HGC Korea. In blue, MVP Miracle, Honkono on Stitches, Dami on Dahaka, Sniper on Tychus, Crazy Moving on Li Ming, and Darvish on Malfurion.
In red, Tempest, Hyde on Rhaegar, Dok on Vala, Lockdown on Nazebo, Sign on Morden, and Modern Life on Tyrael. There's a little bit of swap there between Lockdown and Dok.
Yeah, that's actually quite unusual. Although we have seen Dok do this before. So it's not like the craziest thing that we've ever seen in the world. Also, already going to push us at level 1, by the way. A bold move against Stitches, but this is exactly why Modern Life went to check this so that he could actually stop the rotation down. Sign actually gets them out and the Stormbolt and gets out. Boom! See you later. Peace.
Lows, but not enough. Lockdown only played one competitive Nazebo as 1-0. 100% win rate. Not the most common thing. And also, Dok went for the Q build to stay on that tempo for a longer time. Gonna give lots of sustain for Dok and his team to soak up some tempo shots for his team.
The 3 games of Lockdown Vala so far. For another failed root combo here. And for Dok on the Vala, he's played... Oh, 3 as well, so 3 and 3. So I guess they're just halfway split on it. I could have sworn that he played it more, but anyways. Lightning Bond.
It's also because Lockdown, Dok is usually the one that plays the DPS a little bit more often.
Going to be Lightning Bond instead of the Wolf Run, so not going to be as mobile of a Rhaegar here, but we'll add a lot of extra damage in the fight. So that's going to have that burn on top of the spiders coming in. Actually, it's a hard push in the bot lane with that Vala pick that Li Ming is struggling to deal with right now. As it looks like Tempest is willing to at least temporarily give up control of this temple. Rotating up now. Li Ming is actually struggling to defend, now coming up much later. Tempest needs to retake control, and they will. Nice dodge by Honkono on the slice there from the Temple Guardian. Okay, here's the root. Super obvious with that.
Onto Nazeeba, perfectly locked down. Does survive though at the end with the zombie wall.
Oh man, such good reaction time by Tempest. And Honkono's actually going to die for this. He went too far in. It's going to still be a trade 2-for-1. Oh, he's so low. Modern Life needs the smite. Does he have it? It doesn't look like it. Finally, he does go down there. Close call. This is going to be a temple retake for Miracle. The root was actually used so early that Honkono just was like, all right, well, I guess I'm going to try this. It did connect, but good protection there to keep him alive.
Nazeeba actually not going home. Maybe does not have that fountain available. They're just going to give this up and have rotate top and soak for the bottom.
Yeah, Rhaegar can actually do this as a support because he's got such good wave clear.
Can also solo camp.
That's actually what he's going to go do right now, I think. Yep. So he's going to have that lane push, which will get vision. Actually rotates mid instead. Just wants to get the extra soak. They do give up control of this middle temple. And no one's actually doing the top temple right now. Tempest got a little bit ahead in EXP, but they're actually going to eat a lot of damage on this rotation here.
Miracle should realize that Tempest is doing this on purpose. They want to draw out the temple scene as long as possible because they do have Nazeeba. They want the late game scaling. What's that? All the stacks gathered up for lockdown. It can also be a tank in the front line.
Okay, he's they're actually I don't want to watch Modern Life here. I actually want to see the positioning of Tychus and the Li Ming right now. Okay, coming over. Lockdown swings around the side here as Sniper actually moves up to take control. Modern Life stayed up here so long, does get the Aldruins away. Nazeeba is going to really start to do a lot of damage. He doesn't have that massive scaling yet, but I mean, you could see in these longer fights, his spider damage is real. It's going to help him get this fight. Actually really helped his Widowmaker quest. But again, they lose control here, and now they don't even have the EXP lead. I think this is going really well for Miracle. It is going to be about that scaling in the late game, but for the time being, Miracle is getting everything they want.
Miracle got more shots from the temple, of course, but
yeah.
Tempest with the rotations for mid and bottom with Rhaegar going around, I think they soaked up a decent amount of EXP to actually catch up. So they still have the still have this level lead with Lockdown soaking up all the EXP. I don't think he lost too much of the EXP from the bottom.
Nope, actually got almost every single minion there and got a lot of stacks from it as well. They do catch up in EXP. The Q build you talked about for Vala is completely it's going on.
There are
It's
lots of
happening.
CCs and even a grenade to really cancel, but I think Vala can go straight on and be safe on the Sanctification for a massive amount of damage, which they need. Because Nazeebo can do some spider damage, but they really need that sustained damage, and especially Vala went for Q build.
Well, yeah, Vala can be ancestral too if things get nasty when she strafes, but I'm actually kind of leaning towards the extra CC just to lock down a target so Nazeebo's spiders will go off. I think there's definitely arguments to be made for both. Okay. But let's see what happens, because I actually like what you're saying. I think that's a really viable way to play this because you have the extra safety, you have the Tyrael, the Rhaegar. You're kind of allowed to be out there in the open a little bit, especially if you can get on top of Sniper. So this push is really annoying to deal with, but they're eventually coming down and clearing it. Lockdown and Hyde will make very quick work of this with Duck's help. Another missed hook. It's actually really aggressive positioning by Duck.
Oh!
I don't even know what he was trying to do there, but that's going to cost him his life. Sign misses the Dwarf Toss, does avoid the missiles afterwards. I was watching that, I'm like, I felt like I was watching an accident about to happen. I'm like, you can't be there.
I think he vaulted into the missile shots there and got hit by all three.
Yeah.
Oh, just unfortunate.
That was a big oops for sure, but at the end of the world, it's still very annoying as this push was so annoying to deal with already, and with him being gone, it's actually going to cost them this well for the next temple phase. So no ability to tap, and here's the hook finally. Going to connect. That's another one, this time onto Hyde. Lockdown just trying to do what he can. Tommy's split pushing top, so they get the 10 a little bit faster, plus those kills. Is it going to be Strafe or is it going to be Rain? He's also given the consideration. He's like, you know, he's like listening to both of us like, wow, I can see what Wolf's saying, but I can see what Cheekluff's saying here. Bloodlust is just no way, right? Like,
yeah, no way with the Q build. I think it's very, very, very unlikely.
It's like Nazeebo just like gets like so much text. He's like,
after 20, yes.
It is a strafe. Okay. And I'm almost 100% sure that's going to be Ancestral. Like, actually,
yes,
I think
they need Vala. Without Vala, there's no way of providing the extra damage they need.
I'm actually more than 100% sure, yeah. Yeah, he does lock that in now, finally. So we had this passive moment since the Temple was just completely controlled with that kill earlier. This fort goes down. The second fort is like one shot away from death. Ooh, Chinese bush meta.
Ooh, Crazy moving so low. That was almost a deadly ming there.
Also really good reaction by Sign to immediately bail out there, or he might have found himself getting on the wrong end of some CC coming in, the hook, the root. But
at least not Gorge this time. I thought Gorge was considerable, knowing that the entire damage of Tempest is right now on Vala. Although there's a hook onto Ethereal though, so not the best hook. Yeah, worth a try.
Darvish wasn't even going to drop root for that one. Lockdown's built up a lot of stacks, a lot of extra split soak he's put on this game. It's going to show in the late game. The key here for Tempest is, yes, they're a little bit behind in ESP, they're behind in structures. The key is the keeps. If the keeps survive to 20 or close to 20, they're going to have that spike. Avatar, though.
Just in time to save himself and actually gets the camp. Hyde has to run away in the wolf form. Actually, looks like he will just do that.
Okay, there's the kill on the Vala. Many deaths this game. There's the follow-up hook. Great accuracy. And when he's got the root follow-ups and when he's got the confidence, the hooks have been really good. I worry for Tempest that this game might just snowball away from them. Boss is going to be taken now, and this could open up that keep we were talking about.
They also used everything, Strafe, Sanctification, and Avatar. Of course, Ancestral Healing can save Vala, but without that extra protection on Sanctification, where Vala should be strafing on Sanctification. That is the only spot that she's safe.
Ooh.
And we have a pause.
Pause indeed.
Pause by Rob2.
It's actually KR Ob2, but I always thought it looked like Rob. It's like HGC K Rob2.
Okay.
So
we have some sound issues.
There is a sound issue. Wait, did we just not even notice the sound turned off? Because usually we whenever this happens, you and I are just like, what's going on with the sound? It was an observer pausing and not the players. So it actually looks like it's an issue with Dami's sound. So usually, so you can't actually see the lobby chat. So probably Dami said something in the chat like my sound isn't working, and that's why we had the observer pause instead of the player pause.
Now going back into the game, you can see the difference with the follow-ups after the root. It's basically what you need when you have Stitches in-game. Looks like both teams are ready at the moment. They both said yes.
Yes.
Are you guys all ready to go?
So, it's like everyone is ready. We're going back into this one. But yeah, I feel like the confidence as well for Hong Kong with how ahead they are in this game and how much space has been given to him. Last game he had so many problems because he didn't have escapes, and Tempest had so many routes to lock him down out of the fight. He couldn't find anything.
Oh, that's a cute short toss.
Definitely. I think that the impact of Malfurion in the best of fives today is like really, really profound.
That's exactly why Malf is just on top of things. Dami getting zoned out. Has to use that adaptation because of the zombie wall. Sign is going to go all in. Even if he knows he's not going to get the kill.
I don't think we saw the graphic, but Widowmakers has to be done by now. Like, Lockdown has been hitting so many of these spiders. And actually, level 13 is up. He's considering Superstition. Okay, decides to drop the ice block now.
There's the Widowmakers, as you were talking about.
I think production heard me the way. Because, like, there's no way he didn't have that by 10 minutes with how many he was hitting all game long. Especially because he was, like, usually the only one to live under the fort and just kept tossing out. So, still very much behind in EXP, but the keeps. It's all about the keeps. And I'm going to sing that until this game ends, whether they lose it or they win it, because...
For now, before Nazeebo, it's all about Vala for Tempest. And if they lose Vala, that's basically close to 70% of their damage is blown apart.
They just need to make sure that they play passively enough to where the keeps. They're gonna have to play aggressively in the tempo phases, but during the neutral phases, making moves like this are pretty risky. They're gonna collapse in. If they lose anybody else here, it could just be once again another keep. So, like the quick retreat after that was a failed experiment to see if they could grab somebody. It's always just so scary to do this against Stitches. Stitches will turn around, hook you right away. Lockdown going to look for some more stacks. He's already prepping for that big vial infection, that huge power spike he's going to have. He's going to have another one at 16 with the cooldown reduction for his spiders. So those two things are actually huge. So 16 and then 20. It's a live to get there, though.
It's going to take a lot of time as Miracle is about to hit 16. Tempest knowing that. Plays safely soaking in all lanes right now.
That hook, he's like, I'm working on the gate here. So this gate's going to go down, and this is going to expose the keep, getting into that back door pressure, a split pushing of Dahaka.
Placebo is away, and Nami wants to go in and harass a little bit because he has been just free laning, getting that stack.
Duck tossing out another arrow. Here's the root. There's the strafe coming out as well. Duck really desperately trying to find some damage here. Unfortunately, it's not going to happen, but they do save the keep, and Lockdown gets the free soak in mid.
Just in time, and all they needed to do is keep that keep alive for the moment, and hopefully until the late game when they try to hit 20.
Funny thing is that actually interferes with the camp. Like, when he pulls it away, it means that AoE is less effective, so even if he doesn't get a hook on a hero there, it's like, well, this is actually kind of annoying. It's going to take us longer to clear this camp now.
Just by a little bit. Temp phase is available. I believe that hook almost got locked down there.
So this tempo phase is super important because this could actually push Tempest over the edge in terms of losing that first keep, which makes it so difficult to hold on. The later keep, or rather later Siege Giant taken here. The lane is slightly pushed in favor of Tempest so they can just clear this safely. Sign is spotted. He thinks he's a secret agent, but he's not. And here's the follow-up hook into the root. Does have the avatar available. Does not want to use it. Doesn't use it, in fact. It's just going to back away. The Ancestral comes down. Not enough trust that Duck would actually be able to avoid the magic missiles. So much damage put off afterwards anyways. And that was a risky move by Sign. He got called out for it immediately. Everyone survives, though. And the temple is just now being occupied by MVP Miracle.
Actually a bit of hybrid build coming out from Duck. Not anymore Q. No Qs. Qs to actually heal back up with the Q damage at 13.
They're actually all retreating back to mid. They're just going to let this go. Could cost them that bot keep, though. You can already see it's working its way down. I think they're just going to lose it. They just want to soak for 20 rather than delay for 20. That's the idea here. See, probably Lockdown and rush up top. They're going to try to get this fort so they can just kind of keep the EXP even. The big problem, though, is going to be that keep. Once again, Sign gets hooked and rooted. Does get away. The Brush Stock's coming in, though. Iron Life is going to be the one grabbed. Has the Eldruins available, though. Gets out. And Sign, once again, lives without using the Avatar. He's been holding on to that for so long.
He knows that once that Avatar is missing, Miracle is going to gauge all in because Murden will be very weak against the burst damage that's been coming out from Miracle, especially Tychus just chunking down that minigun every single time.
And he just got that globe to actually give him his dash quest complete. So now he's got a very long dash, which can help escape and also engage and chase targets a lot faster. The bottom keep is down. And that means that that pressure that we were talking about that I feel like Tempest needed to prevent may actually end up putting them in their grave here, because the bot pressure is just going to constantly, non-stop force somebody to go back to defend, which means tempo control is almost always going to go to Miracle. Modern Life within a hyper-aggressive position here to just spot out this camp. He's hoping that they're doing this, and he wants Miracle to group up so that Tempest can actually look for another objective. Instead of soaking, actually, it's going to be the boss. This is already spotted by Honkono. The Miracle team is rotating down. Sanctification is going to be available. Here comes the Brush Stock. Already Duck up here. Where's that Sanctification? Modern Life is not here. He needs to get on there. There's the Sanctification, and they will get the boss and the kill onto Honkono.
They lose Rhaegar, but they still have Vala available, very safe, and Lockdown doing so much damage with those spiders. Look at the spider damage onto Darvish.
Oh man, Duck on the chase here too.
That was close. Dr. almost went down.
Sai needs to be careful. He goes too far forward. The disintegrate does not kill him.
I can't even see
God.
the HP on the bar.
I don't think there is a bar. There's no HP there. He lives though. If he lived, like, he's been living so much without the avatar, and then this time he used the avatar, it expires, he still lived. For a second though, I was like, wait, did he also just not pop avatar? But no, he just expired earlier.
What
but, like,
just happened there?
This is the window that Tempest needed to get back into this game. Now they can just freely soak that bot EXP that's now super safe, by the way, as it's pushed in really hard. Get the extra keep wall EXP, and hope to get 20 to get that Vile Infection, which no doubt Duck will have immediately. I wish we could actually see where he's at right now, but he's probably got it because he's been soaking so much. He's been split pushing. They're going to steal these Siege Giants to pressure that lane and to keep the catapult pressure at bay for quite some time. This is huge for Tempest. This is not putting them into the lead, but putting them basically even when the cards were stacked against them. Such an important team fight win.
They had the Q Vala. Now the quest is completed. They have an extra shot onto Q. The boss just melted down from the Q shots of Vala. That's how you go for, and having that boss taken down so quickly, and Miracle was rushed in. I feel like that was the choice they made, and was not really the best team fight for them because they were rushed in. Leeming had to use Disintegrate from the first, and the Stitches was trying to get onto the point with the bio, but just not entirely perfect because Tyrael came in from the side, had the Holy Ground and his Sanctification, and the Ancestrals coming out from high to save Duck was the crucial heroic, I think, in that team fight.
Vile Infection's already done as we predicted. This is the huge spike. This is the moment, but they're already trying to look for him. He has to use the Ice Block here. Sanctification is ready. Marlife's going to retreat back to look for it. But actually just uses this to save himself as Duck is trying to do the damage over here with this hybrid Q build. Hyde is going to be the first to fall. He does get the Ancestral up at least, but this is already 2 dead for Tempest. And Duck is going to be the third to fall.
They're looking for more as Nazeebo is basically, there is no way of escaping here. Also gets the drag.
Doing a lot of damage here, but there's so many heals. This team fight was really disjointed for Tempest. The Sanctification came down away from the team. Modern Life thought the team was going to follow up with him there, but it did not happen. So he wasted it. He's trying to get as many temple shots as he can here, but it looks like Miracle's just going to use the boss lane to end the game. Actually going to go for this keep here. Tempest may breathe life yet. Okay, I was going to say, like, there's no reason to go for this keep. Just go for the core. Sniper with crazy dashes here as he gets that at 20 as well, yeah.
And also the Haka comes around along from the side and Stitches just so much HP by now to level 21.
The fan service here with crazy moving. We're going to a tied series here, G-Clef. Tempest looks mortal in this series now, and Honkono Stitches as the win or bust. In this game, they had the follow-up CC just like the previous series, and they do win it. We are tied up now, 1-1. This is anybody's series to take.